Today there's more tool in the Amazon seller market than ever before, and that is definitely a good thing, because if a tool can make our work faster, easier or cheaper, then it's simply a no-brainer. Use the tool. That's what I'm always telling my team. So in this video I'm going to go through data dive. So I'm going to give you some in-depth look how to use the tool and how to actually make most of it, out of it. So hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. All right, so today we are talking about data dive product analysis. So how to do this deep dive with data dive. So, I mean, as Amazon sellers, we are all the time using different tools, new tools. And good thing about today is that there's new tools popping out. So, I mean, pretty much all the time. So, in my personal opinion, that's actually a great thing. So, I'm all the time interested in learning about new tools and new tactics, whatever actually makes our life easier as Amazon sellers. So what is data dive? Well, I mean, pretty much helps you look at the market as a whole, and it gives you an overview of how good the competition is, and it identifies the keywords which are driving sales. So point is, and actually one really important point is that are we going after the right keywords? And I mean, that's important. I mean, there's pretty much basically two uses for this tool. So, I mean, if you're already selling something, then we want to make sure that we actually maximize the opportunities that there are with our products. But another and super important point is that when we have a product opportunity, when we are looking for product opportunities, we want to get as much information about the market and about the competitors that is it really something, I mean, is it really a good product opportunity? Because if we do a mistake in the product research space, I mean, it can actually be costly. And one of the most common mistakes is that we enter a market that is too competitive. So that's that's the worst thing to do, and that's also the most common thing, meaning that there's high demand but high competition as well. So one thing I always want to emphasize, that make sure that you don't enter this market with too high competition, because it's pretty much going to make your life much more difficult. But anyway, so let's go through this. So you need a Helium in order to use data dive. So you basically just open up it here and then open the options there. And then it's actually important that you check these three boxes here. So first of all, we want to hide the sponsored product. So we don't want to see any kind of ads, because I mean, we are focusing on getting organic traffic for our listing. And if we are using I mean, if you don't exclude the ads, then we are going to be getting actually wrong information. Then we are actually sorting it descending, so sort by sales, which means that the highest revenue will be at the top. And then we actually want to highlight the products that are younger than 90 days, because highly ranked new products, I mean, they might have some interesting going on there. So we want to look at that, what is it that they are doing and what is their strategy. So, okay. So then we just go to the search bar and put the keyword that we are using. So in this case, it's the wall mount file holder. And then we open the Helium extension and launch this X-ray. And then we are actually going to get more results by loading more of this, so additional data. So I mean, just so page 1 and 2, so load more resources. So then we are actually going to be selecting the accounts, or I mean, selecting the listing that we want to further analyze. And we only want to choose the listings, the competitors that are relevant to us. And we want to make sure that they are not sponsored ads, so they are not running like ads. I mean, that they also have this like organic position here. So we want to make sure to select different competitors. I mean, no variations from the same competitor. So we don't want to have variations here. And then, I mean, after we select like 10 to 15 competitors, then we just hit dive, and data dive will work in whatever the share quota is, and then we can actually limit the search of 10 competitors per dive if you are actually lacking on the quota. So here is the data that we just pulled out. So we can see different numbers and percentage that we can analyze to see if this product is something we can sell, and something that we should actually put like further research on. So this result will actually give this consolidated view of the master keyword list. So we are looking for opportunities that are highlighted in yellow and green. So red always means danger. So here it means that it's high competition, and then green means go, green means good. So green actually helps us to identify opportunities. So the competition search volume is pretty much computed in such a way that the default percentage are like 40, 60, 80. And for each competitor, it's checking how they rank on page 1 for each keyword. So if they do, we basically add that keywords to search volume to the competitors' page numbers. And at the end, it's being compared with this total search volume displays in the master keyword list and with the competitors percentage. And pretty much like each competitor, it applies this 40, 60, 80 threshold to really determine whether it's weak, okay, or what kind of like level of competition it is. So there's 4 different categories, and it sums up in these different colors to see what percentage they present from the total amount of competitors. So it's applying these percentage rules from this deep dive tab. It's by default is the 40, 60, 80 brackets to pretty much determine the competition strength. So what it means that it's trying to like figure out like how good these competitors are. And key question we should always ask ourselves that, okay, is there enough space? I mean, is there space for us in the first page? And if this is all red, if the competitors are really skilled and really good at what they're doing and they know how to operate on Amazon, then it means that no, there's no space for us. It's gonna be costly for us to gain any kind of like room in this in the page. So the competitor's keyword summary or the competitor search volume strength gives the high-level overview of the competitive landscape of this niche. So we can see here that we have 3 very good sellers, 4 good, and 1 okay, and 7 weak sellers. So I mean, what the implication is that if we see a high number of very good and good sellers, it means that, okay, I mean, there's no space for us in this. So there are sellers that they know how to operate on Amazon, and I mean, we can pretty much gain space in any keyword that we choose. But I mean, the question always comes to, I mean, are we willing to put that big of an investment into something? Because it's gonna be costly if there's like really highly skilled like competitors. So that means more work, more money, and more strategizing to beat these sellers. But I mean, what we really want is we want to have a large contribution of this okay and weak sellers. I mean, because I mean, so life is just going to be so much easier if we are competing against weak sellers versus competing against really good sellers. So that's pretty much the point that we want to figure out here. So here we can see the sellers with a total search volume on page 1 that are highlighted in red and are the very good sellers. So the percentage of their search volume on page 1 is 80% and above. Then orange we are the good sellers, so the meaning that it's 60 to 80%, and the rest here is yellow and green, which means that it's 60% of the search volume on page 1. So search volume percentage metric shows the cumulative search volume and all the keywords for this type. So niche medians here, it's the calculations. I mean, here it's excluding all the red sellers data, and it just calculates the median value for the rest of the listed ASINs there. So then we have this master keyword list. What I mean, the list here is still like pretty much like they call it like dirty lists because it includes keywords that are misspelled. It can include brand names or keywords that are not really relevant with our product, right? So I mean, it makes sense that we actually exclude all these keywords that are not relevant for our product. So I mean, after doing that, the evaluation will also be updated. So either we will end up with more very good sellers or less. So here we can see the rank of each competitor for this wall file organizer, so the keyword in this question. So if you see this, if you actually see this 307, it just means that it is not indexed in this keyword, meaning that if it's not indexed in this keyword, then it means that it's not visible. So that listing is not showing up in any page. And the darker greens here, it means these areas of opportunity. So, I mean, the more greens we have, then that means that the more or the better the opportunity is. Yeah. So, I mean, this 307 that means that okay, it's not indexed. So, okay. So let's go to these outlier keywords. So, what is outlier keywords? I mean, it's keyword with high search volume, so there's high relevancy, but it's only utilized by 1 to 2 competitors. So, for example, let's take a look. For these desk accessories and what's it saying, workspace, I mean, we have only like one competitor that has been ranked 19, and the others are not even indexed. So because that 307 means they're not being indexed. So I mean, these are the whole low hanging fruits. So what we want to do is that we actually want to take the time to look at the outlier keywords, and we want to add these to our master keyword list. I mean, only those ones that are relevant with our product. And number one thing Amazon always wants to have is relevancy. So, I mean, the more relevant our product listing is for the keyword, then, I mean, the I mean, the more likely it is that Amazon is going to be putting our product listing in that keyword. So we always have to be relevant. So not all products actually have these outlier keywords, because I mean, it really depends on the market, right? It depends on the keyword. It depends what kind of what kind of competitors we are, how skilled they are, and what they're exactly doing. But I mean, if we find these, then I mean, these are the gold nuggets, and so we want to take advantage of it, because these are keywords with high search volume, which most of the competitors have either they don't know about it, or they have forgotten it, or they just don't even know how to do this. And those are the kind of competitors that we actually want to compete against, right? Makes sense? So if we are at this, then we are going to be pumping up sales. Then deep dive. So this is the high level overview into the niche. So this is the first is the keyword search volume. So when we see a product that is dominated by one or two keywords, it indicates fewer opportunity for sales and high competition among the top keywords. So a broader distribution of keywords indicates a strong opportunity for optimization. So it's actually not good if we see that, okay, there's just a few that are pretty much, there's like two keywords that pretty much dominate this completely. So that's not what we want. We want that there's more even distribution, right? Makes sense? So this this shows the distribution of all the keywords, and so how much search volume there is per these different keywords. Then we have page one domination. So what does it mean? So it means that it basically shows this breakdown of search volume, how it's distributed among competition. So if we see like one or two competitors dominating this search volume and everyone else is small, so it indicates that there's potentially a little bit of work to go than if there's actually a wider distribution of these. So this quarterly median, I mean, it just shows the seasonality and trends of these products. So it's using Google Trends and like this Amazon data. And then search volume trend means it shows the historical search volume in the past year. So how the search volume is trending on Amazon. Then we have this this part of the deep dive will actually help us analyze the competitors listing content and the trends. I mean, what are they actually doing here? By the way, does this make sense so far? You can ask any questions you have. Let me know on the chat, or just speak up. Okay, anyway, this is really cool because we can just instantly see all the different images and all the different information that all these listings have here. So we can see that, okay, what are they doing here? And then we can figure out that, okay, why are they doing this and how can we actually improve it? So let's go to first of all, like title and this bullet optimization. So what they call is battle of the titles. I mean, it's just a fast and effective way how we can analyze the relative strength of each title. So we can optimize the title and see the relative level of strength of our title compared with all the competitors. Then ranking choose here. I mean, it's the estimation of how valuable a certain word or phrase is in the title and how much weight it actually carries in terms of establishing the ranking potential. So I mean, it's just a tool that helps us to see that, okay, I mean, which are the certain words we should use, and like just giving us like a better understanding regarding what are the words that we should use there, so on. So then we have different matches here. So exact match means the highest match. Then we have exact plural, then broad, and then we have broad, plural, and broad. So this is weighed against where the keyword is in the actual listing. And I mean, the higher the score, the better, right? And then same goes with I mean, this was about the titles. Then same principle applies to these bullets. So how we should actually optimize the bullets using the keywords. So I mean, although I mean, titles in terms of like ranking, then I mean, title has makes much bigger impact than the bullets. But I mean, good question is like, which area of the product listing should we optimize? Should we optimize price, title, bullets, images, description, and whatnot? Reviews, questions. What do you think? Which area should we optimize? Come on. Let me know in chat. Oh, exactly, Marikan. Everything, of course. So we need to optimize everything, right? But so we want to make sure that the changes, but I mean, of course, it's good to always to do like split testing in different areas to see that, okay, does this change have a like positive impact or negative impact? But I mean, ideally, the changes we do, I mean, most of the time, they should be based on something. They should be based on some kind of research. But for example, about pricing, I mean, we don't necessarily have access to any information that would give us in advance this kind of data that, okay, is this increase going to lower or decrease the sales and so on. So for example, with pricing, it's just more about, okay, trying out different prices and trying to find the sweet spot. And the funny thing about pricing is that when you increase, what do you think, like in order to get more sales, like should you increase price or decrease price? Which is going to get more sales? I mean, as long as we are not talking about doing some 99% off or whatever. But I mean, let's say we just increase the price with $1 or decrease the price with $1. Then what is going to get more sales? What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Reduce price. Well, money content. This often, and it's not always the case, but in many cases, increasing price will actually increase sales as well. I mean, it sounds against logic pretty much. That I mean, usually the logic is that, okay, I mean, if we are going to be decreasing the prices, we are going to be making more sales, right? But no, that is not the case. That is not how human psychology works, because oftentimes like price means perceived value. And usually if we see two different products and they have like two different prices, often we start thinking that the one that has higher price is going to be it's going to be better quality, better like user experience in all senses. So that's why with prices, it's just all about trying to find the sweet spot. So we increase the price or decrease the price, trying to just letting it run for a week to see that, okay, what do we need to do in order to get the maximum amount of sales? But yeah, but when we are changing titles, bullets, and the rest of the stuff, I mean, there are so many things we can do in order to get this like I mean, make more educated decisions, right? So this is one way how we can actually get information regarding what kind of things we should be having on the listing site. So yeah, I mean, Battle of the Bullets, I mean, it's the same principle as with the titles. And yeah, I mean, we should optimize every single area, right? So, I mean, that's really how this analysis can help us if we want to further analyze our ideal product. But the key thing about tools and stuff like this, because I mean, you can actually do this manually as well. I mean, we have done this manually for years, and I can tell you that it's a lot of work. It takes a long time. So right now, for example, with this data that I do, I mean, you can get it's pretty much instant. Within a few minutes, I mean, you have the information you want to really figure out that should I really proceed with this product or not. Because the worst kind of situation is that, okay, let's say that we find one product opportunity or one product idea, then we start, I mean, we choose that, yeah, I mean, this is the product we are going to be launching on Amazon. So we start sourcing it, and we pretty much do, I mean, start ordering it, everything, and we launch it on Amazon. And boom, then suddenly we notice that, oh no, I mean, there's some surprise that happens, and we could have actually been aware of this already before launching product, but I mean, we were just not educated enough in order to do this. But tools like this can give us this kind of information like instantly, pretty much. So that's why it's super important to really make the use of tools. And nowadays, when Amazon system is a bit more complicated than it was before, then I mean, tools can really, we can use tools to really build our competitive advantage and really make sure that the products that we are going to be launching has the highest odds for success.
If you got value out of this video, then hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And we actually have a closed secret group where we discuss these things and pretty much everything related running an Amazon FBA business. So if you would like to be added to this closed secret group to get an insight in the discussion, then just comment group and my team will reach out to you. See you there.